Welcome to Fuck Around and Get Paid, the podcast that's here to help you have fun, be you, and make money doing what you love. I'm your host, Jennifer Liss, and in this episode, we're going to talk about Limp Noodle Marketing. Let's dive in. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the podcast, Limp Noodle. Are you being a limp noodle? I was. A couple weeks ago, I took one look at my latest podcast title and I was like, what the fuck? What is this? What a limp effing noodle. My podcast is called Fuck Around and Get Paid. And I was like, what is this Chat GPT SEO optimized bullshit? I would never listen to this. I immediately deleted it and I changed the title of my episode to Kick Overwhelm and Its Red Hot Arse. I don't even remember what it was before, but I was just like, this is just trash. What is this trash that I am putting out there, hoping that through the greatest SEO titles, I can attract my people? No, dude, my people are going to be attracted to me saying Kick Overwhelm and Its Red Hot Arse. And I need to own that. Now, I want this for you too. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I did what I did, the reason that you might consider doing what I'm doing too, and what it means for you, because every entrepreneur does this in some way. And even if you are not yet an entrepreneur, my friend, you are doing this in your own life in some way. You are limp noodling it. And most of us don't even know that we're doing it. So let's dive in and talk about limp noodle marketing. But first, I want you to know this is a permission slip, not a lecture, because what I'm all about is you living your own best, juiciest, fullest expression of your life. And not that you need my permission to do that, but we all know that sometimes, damn, it just feels good for somebody to give us permission to do that. So while you know I love a good lecture, I also love giving permission. So maybe this slips into lecture city, but what we're really talking about is giving yourself permission to be you in the boldest, brightest, most beautiful way that you can be, which is where money is gonna meet you. Let's talk about why. So here's what limp noodle marketing is. It's technically accurate. But it's also completely unable to turn ahead. So it can be completely, again, SEO optimized. It can tick all of the boxes. It can be exactly right. It's that person that follows all of the rules, but you would never want to party with on the weekend, right? It doesn't offend anybody, but it doesn't excite anybody either. It's safe. It's soft. It is noodly AF. And it's completely forgettable. It's the marketing equivalent of a handshake that is like limp and floppy and slightly damp. Okay. Nobody wants that handshake. Do you want that handshake? I don't want that handshake. It makes me feel weird. So let's not have your marketing, the way that you are showing up in the world, AKA your marketing, the way that your brand is showing up in the world, the way that your content is showing up in the world, feeling like a limp, weird handshake. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Where can this show up? Where can your limp noodle marketing show up? Can show up in basically anywhere that you're communicating yourself and your brand. I mean, one, it can show up in the way that you walk into a room. Do you walk into a room thinking, I hope they like me? Do you walk into a job interview thinking, oh, I hope they hire me? Or do you walk in knowing that, damn, they'd be lucky if they did? Damn, they'd be lucky if they'd invited you on the stage to go and present to them. But you're also going to enjoy the hell out of meeting these people in the job interview. You're also going to enjoy the hell out of sitting at this event, right? So either way, great. Take me or leave me. Either way, great. I love that Tracy Litt says this. So it can show up in the way that you present yourself in videos, the way that you present yourself personally, but it can also show up, of course, in the energy that you communicate with, which is your words. So through podcast titles, your episode titles, your offer names, your sales page headlines, it can show up in the way that you name the transformation that you sell. It can show up, of course, in your Instagram bio. Another place that it can also show up is in the caption that you almost posted, but then you kind of softened the message a little bit, right? Now, understand that what I'm saying, it can be very easy to think, okay, opposite of limp noodle is like hard and fast, right? It's like, oh, that I don't mean that you need to in your marketing, in your brand, in the way that you show up in the world. You don't need to be loud for the sake of being loud. You don't need to be inappropriate for the sake of being inappropriate. It's actually about your outer message matching your actual energy. And when I say your actual energy, I mean the juiciest, most potent, most powerful version of you, which, mind you, might be incredibly soft, intentionally soft. But most of us are not actually soft. We're just too scared to sound like ourselves at our actual full potency. So, what it's really about is that authenticity is your clearest signal, always has, always will be. The people who are authentic, the people who show up as exactly who they are the people that other people pay attention to. And if you're not willing to do that, you will be a limp noodle. You will be, like maybe some people notice it, maybe some people kind of get on with it, but you're never going to be that one that really stands out from the crowd. And maybe you're okay with that. Maybe that's fine for you. And that's how you want to jive with the universe, but it's not me, and it's not most of the people who come into my world are really craving. What we really want more than anything is to step all the way the fuck into who we are. That's really what you're craving. However, this happens for a reason. We soften our messaging for a reason. So why does it happen? Well, the number one reason is that your nervous system is literally doing its job. Because saying your truth in full power, it really feels unsafe in a body that is used to protecting itself, that is used to putting on all of the masks, that is used to feigning to other people's desires. So our fears show up in our body as a physical signal before it actually even becomes a conscious thought. So you might not even be aware that this is something that you are doing. So what we will feel is something in us that we're not even aware that we're feeling, but then we're thinking, oh, this is too much. Oh, people won't like this. Oh, they won't buy this. Maybe I should tone it down. Maybe I should say it differently. Oh, maybe they'll actually resonate with this instead of saying what you really want to say. And trust me, the right people for you will always want to hear what you really want to say. Okay. So that's the first thing, is that your beautiful nervous system, oh, God bless it. It is protecting you. It is keeping you safe. It is keeping you from stepping out there, really saying it the way that you're feeling it, being fully honest, heart open, fully honest about the way that you see the world, right? So I say heart open because one of the things that I love to share with people who are learning with me is that we might say things that are counter to what others think and say, but we're saying it with love. We're saying it in a loving way. We're holding a loving boundary for ourselves and saying, like, this is what I believe. We're not saying it in like a way that is, it's okay if it's against, but we're not pushing against. We're saying, dude, you get to have your thought on that. This is how I see the world. So it's doing it with love always. And that always feels good. That will always feel good anytime that we move from a loving energy. So we have to remind our nervous systems often that this is really how I see the world. And I'm doing this with love. I'm doing this with love for myself first. And that in turn, I know will be with love for others when I say this out loud. So the number two thing beyond your nervous system is that often borrowed voices are running your copy. Here's what I mean by that. You have learned lots of things in your life, and you've learned them through many different sources. Some people you have paid and they have taught you things. Other places, it's like by working at a certain place, you learned a certain thing. You've learned things from your parents. You've learned things from your grandparents. You've learned things from all kinds of people, these voices that you have heard. So they have taught you to sound more professional. They have taught you what good looks like. And you have absorbed all of these rules of the way that marketing works, maybe, or the way that somebody talks, the way that a lady talks, the way that an entrepreneur talks, the way that you should be moving through the world. Somewhere along the way, all of those strangers' voices start writing your copy. And so we're really outside of ourselves, and the message is getting filtered through all of these outside voices. And so it loses its potency. This happens to everybody. Again, I've realized in the past few months, especially, it's really been kind of a 9-month journey for me. But in the past few months, especially, I have said, whoa, where have I taken on all of these things that are actually not mine? Where am I dimming my own most potent, powerful light? It's those of you, I actually have my own students to thank for this, because they have really allowed me the space. I have created the space where I felt safe in the presence of them to be myself in every way, which has allowed me to then move it forward, which is why being in the space with other people who are doing this too, who are allowing themselves space to step in to their most potent energy, it will allow you to step into your most potent energy, which is why I've created a community, because I'm like, we need other people around us who are doing this work too, and not saying you need to say it this way, you need to say it that way, this is the way, but rather, what is your way? How do you see the world? How do you see it? What do you think? And really coming back to your voice. But here's the other thing. So there's mentors, and we pick up those mentor voices. And at some point, you've learned all these things, and you've got to step back and say, oh, what do I think with all of this? How do I feel? What feels like the most true to me? And how does that want to move through me? How does that want to move out into the world? Okay. The third thing is that you genuinely cannot see from the inside of something. You cannot read the label from the inside of the bottle. We've all heard that. I used to always say with hairstyling, people would say, I wish I could round brush my own hair. Like, you can't always round brush your own hair. And it's so sneaky, because we often don't realize that we are trying to look to the outside from the inside, and then we're filtering our message through things instead of just pouring straight from the bottle. So you're not always intentionally playing it safe with your messaging. You might actually even think, ooh, this copy is bold. But meanwhile, you're saying it through somebody else's voice, or it's filtered through something. You can't see how soft it is. You can't see how wiggly that noodle is, because you're too close to it. You're seeing it from the inside. And that's exactly what happened with my podcast titles. That's exactly what was happening. Well, it was actually a combination of all three of these, because I picked up messaging from mentors. I felt like I couldn't say things a certain way because I had learned certain things from mentors that actually didn't actually quite jive with my particular energy. And actually, those mentors would never have wanted me to go against my own energy, but I picked it up anyway. This happens to all of us, right? So I couldn't see that my nervous system was protecting me, picking up these other voices, and I could not see the clarity of it. And I wasn't hiding on purpose, just like you might not be hiding on purpose. Just like many of my clients aren't hiding on purpose, because I see this constantly. I see it constantly in headlines, in offer titles, in how they describe the transformation that they create, especially. This is really where it hides. So you'll write something, it's technically true, it's technically accurate, but it is completely flat. It is just soft as all get out. And sometimes I would have been defensive too. So sometimes when I point these things out, our instinct is to be defensive of it, because from the inside out, it doesn't feel soft because we can't see it from the inside. We need perspective. But the cool thing is, as soon as we allow ourselves some curiosity about it and we step back and we say, okay, I hear that there is a different perspective. I hear that there is somebody that is pointing out to me that maybe I'm not standing in my most potent, powerful energy. We can actually shift so fast back into saying it our way. And that transformation gets clearer. The headline gets firmer, and we start to get braver in our words. We claim things with a powerful energy instead of just implying it. A lot of times we don't even realize we're using language that is implying something instead of just saying it like it is. That is the big thing that I see a lot. So the fix here, once you've identified, okay, maybe I am being a little noodly with my messaging. What is the fix? It is to match your energy to your message. The goal here, again, is not to just be bold for the sake of being bold. It's not to manufacture boldness. And you don't need to be the loudest voice in the room ever, unless you literally are the loudest voice in the room. Maybe you've got a lot of that natural Leo energy and you're just loud. And if that is your energy, your marketing, your words, your language, your energy through those words, through the marketing, through the visuals needs to match it. Because the kind of people who you want to come in are the energy that you're matching to. And the energy that you're going to enjoy the most is that potent, most delicious energy, because it allows you to step even greater into your authenticity. Create spaces like I've created with my clients where you and they are all doing the same thing at a greater level. It's so good. So all you need to do is close the gap between how potent you actually are, like the truth of you, and how potent those words sound. But again, your nervous system is not always going to be comfortable at first. So we need to have it pointed out to us. So this will make your marketing feel so much more authentic. You'll feel better about it, and people will turn heads. They will recognize themselves and that version of themselves, that transformation for themselves, whatever it is that you are selling, they will see themselves in it because you have held the space for that for them to step into and to see it. So I want you to go look at your last few pieces of content that you have put out there. So whether that's a podcast, a Substack, a social media post, a sales page, and I want you to really think to yourself, would I click on this? Would I read this? Would I be interested if a stranger posted it? That was the question that I asked myself about my podcast title. And I was like, no, I would not. So if that is true, if you would not be like, ooh, juicy, then it ain't it. It needs to be amped up a bit. So then you can ask yourself, if you're talking about an offer, does this name the transformation like I actually mean it? Or does it sound like I'm asking some kind of permission? Does it turn a head, even one head, your head? Does it turn a head? If it does, you're golden. If it doesn't, time to try again. So the job of marketing, the job of the way that you show up in your business through your words, through your sales pages, through your content, everything that you put out there, the job of that is to really shake somebody out of the scroll, to shake them out of the stupor that they are in of just scrolling, You don't want somebody to just scroll right by your stuff. You want them to stop. You want it to land. You want them to turn their head and go, huh? Soft, limp noodle doesn't get noticed. Something that is different is what is going to get them noticed. And you, my friend, are different. You are not one in the sea of same. So many people are doing the same thing, but not because they are the same either, but because they're doing the thing that they think that they're supposed to do, right? So shift out of that. And that's actually exactly what I'm going to be teaching in my upcoming workshop. And I've got a wait list for it right now. So if you're interested in really understanding the energetics of how this works, the energetics of offers, the energetics of messaging, and how to attract buyers so you can get paid, if you're interested in that, I want you to go to jenliss.com/waitlist and get on the waitlist for this. It's happening in September. And I want you to be able to have first dibs on a seat. So be sure that you go to jenliss.com/waitlist. I'm going to be talking about how to match your energy to the vibration of your most authentic presence and how that can get you paid. I'm telling you, you can get paid to be you. You can get paid, my friend, with your sheer delicious aura, your clearest potent signal alone. And I'm going to help you learn how to do that. So if you have been a limp noodle accidentally in your offers, in your sales, in your messaging, in your content, it's okay. But we're going to undo that, just like I'm undoing it for myself. Sometimes we just need somebody to help us see it. And that's what we're going to walk you through in this workshop. So go to jenliss.com/waitlist, go get on it. And I would love to see you there. I'll see you in the next episode. And I hope you took something really delicious from this away for yourself, something like a big old delicious bowl of pasta, because those are the only wet noodles that you're going to be dishing out anytime between now and in the future. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.